Today I'm talking about gender confusion. There's nothing like someone being born gay, and there's nothing like someone being born a lesbian or being born gay. Uh, because I'm speaking this from first-hand information. There are so many people who have been healed, who have been restored. They are normal people, and the reason I'm saying this is because there's been confusion in the world, and some countries have supported the concept of LGBTQ, and all this is against God's will and God's original plan for any human being. God created man and woman. He did not create the in between. So there's nothing like gender confusion. Now I want to make clear about this topic. Listen, gender confusion has got three forms, three ways that happens. The first way is when it happens during conception. Uh, During conception, especially in informal families, in normal families, you'll find a mother is expecting a baby boy, and then uh, it happens that she's conceived a baby girl. So, and then in the process of that conception, when the kid is a fetus, where it's still in a fetus form, or or in the early stages of conception, that's when it's still just a zygote or developing into the fetus. The information that is conveyed, the conversation between the father and the mother will make this this person that is developing inside the womb to feel either needed or not needed. Now, if you are expecting a baby boy and then it's a girl who has been conceived, the conversation that goes on during the conception goes into the subconscious of that fetus or of that zygote. And because remember, we are talking about a human spirit here. So as this fellow develops, then the child is born, and you realize it's a baby girl. There's an element of this girl beginning to behave tomboyish and to act like a boy in order to be accepted. So that quest to be accepted is what makes a girl to begin to behave like a boy. She wants to wear like a boy, she wants to play with boys, and she wants to look like a boy because of what was stored in the subconscious during the conception and the communication that was going on. Point number two, another possibility that makes this gender confusion to occur is a situation whereby it has been in cases of single parents where a boy is born, for example, and is growing up only with the mother, and then the boy just sees how the mother behaves, and the mother does not teach and expose this boy to manly or manhood or manly behavior. So the child grows up behaving in a similar way. That's why we want mothers not to bath and sleep on the same bed with boys when they are growing. Even some do it even when the boys are becoming teenagers or they are getting into their puberty, they still do it. Now, and then it becomes worse when they go to schools and maybe they are busy interacting with the girls. And then because of that feminine kind of behavior, it begins to attract other boys who are perverted, who are in the same thing. So long as that attraction is there, it's a spirit that is passed on. We call it transference of spirit. So the gayism is a spirit, it's a spiritual thing, and one can overcome it by having a spiritual approach, casting the spirit out, and you begin early. When you begin to pick up that behavior in a child, you better attack that spirit head on. And if it's a boy, begin to sensitize him of his gender and begin to show him that he is a boy, but not a girl. And you begin to show him that he's a boy and expose him to boyish sports and rough sports, and expose him to other boys and let him be aware of his gender. You can deal with it at an early stage. So One way, as I mentioned, is the conversation that goes on when the baby has been formed in the womb. So for example, another way, as I mentioned, if if the parents were expecting a baby girl and then it's a boy that is born, you find that the boy begins to behave like a girl to be accepted. Remember, it's all about seeking acceptance. So and so you find some of them psychologically they begin to behave like girls because they want to be accepted. The parents were expecting a baby girl but not a baby boy. So what is in the subconscious begin to manifest in the outward. So remember, we have a human spirit at play, we've got a soul, and then we've got the body. So what comes from the spiritual realm is manifested in the physical realm. So we need to learn to deal with these issues at an early stage. It's a correctable thing. And I'm telling you what I've seen happen. I've helped so many young people that were already going that route, but we have had to salvage them. And now we sensitize them about the agenda, and we expose them to the right activities and the right way of talking, took them through a training and made them to appreciate the fact that they are boys, and they never went that route. And we have done counseling. We have dealt with some people. For example, there was a gentleman who had grown up being gay, and he had slept with more than 50, I don't know, 1,000 men or something, just a hell lot of mess. But when he went through the process of deliverance, he came to admit that there's nothing like someone being born gay. And he changed, and he got married, he got children, and he's a real man. And so, and of course, women who have been lesbians also turned around and became normal women, and they don't want anything to do with lesbianism. So this thing is purely spiritual. We can overcome it. So there's more in our next topic. I'd like you to subscribe and join us in our next topic on the same topic of gender confusion. Thank you.